There we go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 210 Carmen of MMT Millennial Movie Talk.
What?
That's right. It's all about your mummies and your Egyptian mythology.
Carmen.
This episode, 210 Carmen.
Oh, Tutankhamun.
Episode 210.
He's the guy.
210.
There.
We're a movie and TV show podcast.
Tutankhamun.
Where we all chat around
Just-
movies and TV shows and stuff. We've
know,
watched
you
plenty this week.
You could replay that, and you could probably find the frame where it clicks for me.
The exact moment where Alex goes. I'm one of your hosts, Brayden, joined as always by the wonderful Alex.
Hi.
Yep, he's
Hi.
there, he's clicked. And the wonderful Christian.
And an Egyptian hello from me.
It reminded me of there's an episode that exists or an outtake where we're recording back when we did it in person, and we're doing the show, and then you can see Michael slowly come to the realization that he didn't click record on the soundboard.
Yes, that one was the best.
And
that was so
we're all
funny.
talking, and Michael's just like,
oh no.
and he didn't tell us, like, for like 10 seconds after. He's just like, we've been going for about 7 minutes.
Yeah, bless. He didn't really have any idea of what to do in that moment.
Yeah.
He was paralyzed with fear.
That's why Mike wasn't here. He was going. We fired him.
Yeah, the memory of that moment occurred, and
because we have
he's not here now.
Because we have the option to fire him, apparently.
Bless. But no, let's get straight into it because we've actually got quite a bit we want to chat about this week. How about you lads start us off with a little bit of sunshine?
Oh yeah.
In a certain state, perhaps.
Yeah.
Of the US of A.
It's kind of cloudy.
Will Smith was born
Milwaukee.
and raised. He was born and raised in the west of it.
No, of course. We're talking about it's always sunny in Philadelphia. Which I only know how the Philadelphian accent is from Dennis doing it like jokingly in the show.
Yeah. Oh boy, howdy! Season's still strong.
Yep, there's new episodes. Still topping earlier episodes, which we thought were the best episodes in years.
We didn't get to talk about
an upward trend.
Yep. We didn't get to talk about Frank versus Russia last week.
Best episode of the season.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah, it is. It 100% is. Just and the one part that keeps making me laugh when I remember is when Charlie's talking to the event manager and he has to keep looking at the chessboard.
Yeah, and it just could not be more obvious that he has to keep looking at the board, that he's wearing a camera.
Yeah. He's wearing a camera. And like he's having a whole conversation. They're having almost an argument. Charlie's just looking at the board and he's like, it's so funny.
And it's so unnatural for him. Like
that's hilarious. Frank as well. We'll spoil this one. So this is an episode that kind of remakes something that we loved in the past, while also doing what Sonny do best and taking a real thing that rumored to have happened and then just making it into a massive joke. If it wasn't a joke already.
At the same time as trolling everybody and everyone thinking that there's going to be a political episode, being called Frank versus Russia. So for the past few months, everyone knowing that.
So the plot of Frank versus Russia is Charlie enters Frank into a chess tournament to play and cheat his way through so he can beat the world's best chess player who was Russian.
A Russian grandmaster. Yeah.
And they go about and they cheat and everything. I can't remember how they originally cheat. Before
so we start with a restaurant buzzer in the pocket. Yes. And it's blatantly obvious what's going on. And then we evolve to the real life, mimicking real life, Yeah.
But before then, we have a side story of Dennis rolling out a new system. It's not the Dennis system; it's the Sind system, which is Dennis backwards.
Yeah. if Frank being in the chess tournament wasn't enough for the episode, like we also have like the return of the Dennis system, which obviously, as you said, it's Dennis in reverse, Sind. And whereas the Dennis system is the perfect system for attracting a woman, the Sind system is the perfect system for attracting a man.
Yeah.
And they played it out so perfectly, having Mac and D both on dates trying to attract men and cutting between the two as they blunder through Dennis's system.
Because the funniest character
amazing.
arc in Always Sunny is Mac coming out as gay.
Oh, yeah. And brilliant moment as well in this episode. Frank saw the dance. Frank's an ally now.
Yeah. Frank's like, I didn't get Frank went, I didn't get that from the dance. Or when he
and then Frank has one of his best lines this season, which was, the dads didn't say anything about no beads.
So there is a side story where Mac says he's got, I can't remember his friend's name, but there's this man
Johnny.
he met on who?
Johnny.
Mac met this man on Mac met this man Johnny on online, and Johnny sent Mac anal beads that Johnny controls, and Mac constantly has them in, and every time they vibrate, it means Mac has to go meet Johnny at a location where Johnny never turns up.
He's never met Johnny.
Yeah.
But he's a boy in love. He's a boy in love with Johnny.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's never met Johnny. Johnny keeps buzzing him to a location where Johnny never rocks up to.
Yeah. And of course, this explanation is what leads Frank to reverse his
he's not
status as an ally.
He's not an ally
no,
anymore.
I am now out. I am no longer an ally. I don't understand the beads.
And then both storylines culminate at the end, where they realize that they're gonna get caught in the final, the chess match with the Grandmaster Russian man, and
he makes it to the final as well.
Of course, yeah.
Where it's revealed that Dennis is Johnny, and Dennis uses the anal beads to get Mac out the house when he's annoying Dennis.
When he's annoying him. And of course, then comes the idea to use this system to bring the ideas together, as the gang will often do.
They drug Frank.
They install the system in Frank for the chess competition, which leads to I think, like, on par with, like, Frank crawling out of the couch.
Yeah.
Or, like, Frank moment. Of his
Frank
montage of Frank in pain, in joy, in all stages, every stage of emotion.
Frank covered in hand sanitizer would be in there.
Yep.
I just want to be pure. Whereas Frank has to react to malfunctioning anal beads going off in his ass.
Whilst trying to play chess. Grandmaster.
Which is comedy gold. And Danny DeVito, like, man, they were really so lucky to get.
It's the funniest moment of the season. Like,
turn off the Wi-Fi, kill the Wi-Fi.
I heard them in the podcast saying stuff like, "Oh, this, what we get Danny into this season," and like, keeping it hush hush. They were definitely talking about this.
Yeah,
like,
kill the Wi-Fi, kill the Wi-Fi.
The facial expressions he makes. Yeah. Also, there's just the blatantly screaming out in pain, like, "Should I move here?"
Yeah.
Just like almost giving it away. Great time to mention, Always Sunny is a very smart show in how they do their kind of real life winks, and plays. Like, they have chess. Chess has been big since Netflix did a thing, basically. Now there's all these chess YouTubers. Chess is on the rise. Chess is back.
Yeah.
Always Sunny, chess episode. Literally do not show any actual chess happening. The move they do show is an illegal move that doesn't make any sense, and Frank wins the game from it. And the Russian Grandmaster knocks over his king, which is not a thing real chess players will do either. So, like, they managed to avoid having any technical chess or like whatsoever, and downright making fun of it, really.
Yeah. They're like, we can't screw it up if we don't do it.
Exactly. They're just like, we'll just blatantly have him, like, the board doesn't make any sense. Yeah, rather than try and do it.
So I totally forgot that you've been listening to the podcast now, Chris.
Yeah, love it.
It's incredible, right? Just I love the insights into just to the when they talk about the old episodes as well. All of that, and then some episodes will just have a 5-minute prologue of Charlie sitting on a piano playing music.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, and it's brought the best part of it back to us in the show.
100%. And then we're on the newest episode that came out last week, which was Celebrity Booze. I forget exactly what it's called.
Celebrity Booze, a major cash grab or something.
Yeah.
But one of the best ways to do a cameo, in my opinion.
Yeah. So this episode has 2 guest stars in it, being Aaron Paul and Bryan Cranston.
And we have the immediate genius play of the gang only know Bryan Cranston as the Malcolm in the Middle dad and never mention Breaking Bad.
And they think Aaron Paul.
So this like encompasses, eventually grows, and then they just start thinking that Aaron Paul is Malcolm and refer to Aaron Paul as Malcolm.
Mr. Malcolm. Malcolm's dad and Mr. Malcolm.
He calls Bryan Cranston Mr. Middle at one point, which I cried a little.
That's good.
It's absolutely genius and a nod to the real show, which everyone loves Bryan Cranston for. And Frank isn't lying in the episode when he says Malcolm in the Middle changed the game.
Yes. 100%.
Great show.
Great moments include Bryan Cranston giving this incredible monologue at the end, showing how good of an actor he is. And then after all of it, and like, you know, he's giving a real serious monologue, like being like, oh, you know, I'm the leader, don't mess with me, Aaron Paul. Because a lot of the concept of their relationship in the show is that like Aaron Paul and Bryan Cranston are in a toxic relationship where Aaron Paul abuses Bryan Cranston into just being a quiet little man that's just standing there for his looks.
Malcolm's not in the middle. Malcolm's on top.
Yeah, Malcolm's on top.
Which is another genius line.
And then Mac telling Bryan that he might be in an abusive relationship when Mac himself's also in an abusive relationship with Dennis. Brilliant. And then at the end, when they tell Bryan Cranston that he should really start to do some dramas because he's an incredible actor. So funny.
Yeah, they tell him that he's got it.
He's got it.
And he should do dramas, Mr. Middle.
Oh my god.
And I'd say this is also wrapped up in a great episode from the gang's point of view when they're trying to come up with their own celebrity alcohol.
Yeah.
And Charlie immediately suggests crushing up nickels and making a drink he calls Nickelschlatter, which is the working man's liquor.
Because you got a belly full of nickels.
Proceeds to just slowly poison himself by drinking this nickel drink.
Oh, that's weird. I wonder why my stomach's going off. It's because you have a belly.
It's because it's full of nickels.
And he's just in the alleyway vomiting up the nickels. He's like, they keep coming.
You can hear them.
Like a coin sound.
Yeah. Nickelschlatter.
Oh, so funny.
There's so many top tier stuff coming out of these episodes. I can't believe it.
One of the best, this opening was incredible too. When it turns, it's just they go, "Well, we're doing it. It's already happening." Like,
yeah. Like, who could do that? We could do that.
And then when they're coming up with which drink they should have, when they're like, "What's the fanciest drink?" and they're like, I can't remember what the first option is. And they're like, and what's the second fanciest drink?
They say like schnapps or something.
Yeah, and then the second fanciest drink, Jägermeister. He goes Jägermeister.
Jägermeister.
They go, Jägermeister.
Everyone wants to feel like they're on a little hunting like experience or something.
Really, it's shocking to see how much they still have it.
Yeah, I honestly can't believe like Nickelschlatter, that's like an all-time hilarious Charlie thing to come up with, like quotable moment, and like Frank's chess moment, Malcolm in the Middle. It's all of these are like memorable, archivable moments, like top moments in terms of the whole show, and it's the 16th season. Like, bravo.
They say Goldschlager is the premium,
the fanciest thing ever.
Yeah. It's Swiss cinnamon schnapps liqueur. Yeah, and then Jaeger being the second one, which is just well done. But yeah, these 2 episodes are great, and the Malcolm's on top. Oh shit, Malcolm's on top, and then Mac.
Yeah, Malcolm's on top.
Then Dennis be like, Mac, what are you wearing? He goes, I'm going for a Jordan in the '90s look, and
Oh, he kills that outfit.
incredible,
it looked awesome.
I'll try and find it for Brayden.
Please bring it back, Mac. Mac's just suddenly wearing like the most beautiful like 80s suit you've ever seen.
God.
Like he looks like it's so good.
So he's going for off-court MJ.
Yeah. Like
Amazing.
big suits. Let me find it. But yeah, they're absolutely killing it. Oh, it's just gonna annoy me. Hang on. Keep talking and I'll get it up. There's not a very great photo you can
All right. Well, as you find that, I'll intro us in, because a new movie came out last week, and we all went and saw it together. We went and had a joint D-Box experience.
More than others.
Chris, let's get your thoughts on D-Box quickly before we get into the actual film.
Doesn't have any. He turned it off.
I'll admit the D-Box deserves another go. This one was too important for me. All right, it was too important, and the chair started shaking, and my vision was blurred. I was trying to see the screen, but it was wobbling, you know, and I was distracted, and I was jarred.
I will admit the first 30 minutes of this film is it doesn't ease you into the D-Box experience.
No, it throws you right in with a full-on action.
Transformers, I would say, eased us in more.
Yeah, Transformers weirdly like ramped it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I very quickly just was like, I just want to watch the movie because what's happening on screen is like the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Bless.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
So
we've got the other greatest thing I've ever seen. Alex has a photo of.
I'm trying, man.
He's trying so hard. He's almost got it.
That'll come back. That will come back around.
Leading into the new movie, finished watching Last Crusade, which I was halfway through last time. Dude, Last Crusade, fucking good movie.
Oh, did you like The Leap of Faith?
Oh my god, it was so good.
All the tests.
Yeah, The Leap of Faith may be like one of the best visual parts of a movie I've seen.
Oh, what a genius bit of cinema.
In Hebrew, it's spelled with an H or J.
Oh my god, that moment's so good.
Yeah.
The dynamic between Sean Connery and Harrison Ford is incredible.
Penitent Man will pass.
Oh my god. The entire film is just spot on in its writing. It's so funny and enjoyable, and it's just hilarious at times, and then dead serious in other times, and really emotional. And yeah, Last Crusade holds up. I think at the moment is probably my favorite indie film out of the lot.
That's pretty fair. That's a fair.
Yeah, I know that's not a hot take or anything, but I'm trying to let Alex find.
Alex has the hot take when it comes to liking Temple of
guys,
Doom the most.
Come on.
Yeah, Alex.
Because most people like Raiders or Last Crusade. Because Last Crusade's got Sean Connery and it's good.
Yeah, Sean Connery really does hold up a lot of the heart of that film.
It also has Hitler.
It does. Fuck me, the Hitler scene is so funny.
He's the leader of the Nazis.
Oh my god! But that scene is so funny. I was losing my mind.
He hand the diary that the Nazis are looking for to Hitler.
Yeah,
and
he
Hitler
gets
signs
pushed by the crowd, and then he ends up just handing it to Hitler, and you're like, oh fuck, he just handed it over to Hitler, and then Hitler just signs his name, which is also in English, which we can just leave, and that's fine.
So the audience is just, oh fuck, it could not be in a worse place. Like, what the actual fuck is taking place?
So funny. What a fun twist on that scene, and just like, oh man, what a great time. I absolutely loved it. And the Nazis are back in this one. In Indiana Jones: The Dial of Destiny. Sorry, Alex, I'm moving on. You can still find it.
I'm trying, bro. Do you know what I've done? I've got the episode up on my computer. I've screenshot the moment from the episode.
You want to screenshot it?
And now I'm trying to find a program that OBS will take as a capture onto it, so you should be
able to insert an image, can't you?
That's what I'm doing now.
So this is fun.
That's what I'm doing now. This is how much. Just show me. Just give me a photo online, of it.
Continue stalling.
Get me pictures of Spider-Man.
The thing is with Indiana Jones is we have first indie movie, Nazis, well received. Second indie movie, no Nazis, not as well received, right?
Nazi, no.
Next one, Nazis. Nazis are back, very well received.
No,
all right.
you're not.
Next one, Nazis gone.
I'm not. No, sir. Temple
and now,
of Doom.
Finally, Nazis again. So just
were there Nazis in Temple of Doom?
No,
that's what I'm saying. There weren't.
I don't remember any Nazis.
No Nazis. The 2 movies without Nazis are the least rated. Let's be honest.
Yep. The strongest films in this franchise.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
The strongest films in this franchise rely on punching. Look at that.
Yeah.
That is great.
Yeah. And Charlie dresses as a limo driver. Take off the hat, Charlie.
The earring as well.
Yeah.
Take off the hat. And Charlie's like, I'm not taking off the hat.
That's really good. That was worth it.
Yeah, I hope it was.
No, it legitimately was worth it. I'm glad I got to see that. That's great.
Cool.
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny released last week. We all went and saw it. Chris didn't like the D-Box experience, but he's going to try it again another time with something he doesn't care about.
Exactly.
Indy's back. He's old as fuck. He's retiring. And, hold up. His godfather? His goddaughter's here. And she's bringing back stuff from his past, but not before an extremely long, de-aged action sequence.
Yeah,
I saw it again. I've seen it twice.
Yeah. Are we going into any spoilers on this review?
For a week. Or... And can we just talk about how it's not making money?
Is it not making money?
It's not making money.
Oh no!
I've already seen some reviews be fairly unfair, but a lot of fair.
It's so unfair. Some movies, there's so many unfair reviews towards this movie. I think people were just kind of being like, it's not as good as the original, so they're ripping into it.
I think they need to go rewatch the originals.
I think they just need to learn that no films ever are going to be as good as the originals, because that's not how we make films anymore. That's not the style of films that are made anymore.
Seriously, go back to the tomb raiding in Last Crusade in Venice, and it's just as corny and ridiculous. It's
with all the rats.
The rats and all the again, and this hasn't been excavated. This place that's right under this famous church. All the reasons. The old ones are absolutely bonkers. That's what makes it Indiana Jones.
Yeah, they are completely ridiculous. Completely ridiculous when you actually break them down and look at them.
Yeah.
I think the second you're nostalgic for something and you just remember it from years ago, you start to hold it in a higher regard. It's having just watched them, it's no, these films are fucking nuts. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, Temple of Doom's fantastic.
But so we're back in World War II. Indy's de-aged. Did we like that? How do we like the?
It's
pretty noticeable.
It's very hit and miss.
I think
there's moments that work.
I think. I saw it with a friend who said he could watch a whole movie like that. He just doesn't bother him.
Okay.
And I was like, I wish I had that.
I wish I had the ability to switch off that part of my brain,
because so much of it just doesn't work for me. The voice is the killer too. Old man Harrison voice in an indie.
It's good that his best part of it, he's not speaking, because he's pretending to be German.
Yeah, I think what they need to realize is that, and they did this with Star Wars, but they didn't implement it with Indy, is that when they de-aged Luke, it looked pretty bad. But when they deepfake Luke, it looked so much better. In was it the Boba episode of Man? Was it the Boba?
Yeah, the Boba Fett episode of Man.
When they deepfake Luke, it looked so much better. And I think Disney should probably start deepfaking instead of de-aging, because clearly one of them's working better than the others. And I thought this, the sequence itself is fantastic.
If this
it's
sequence
classic
was
indie.
Filmed like 20 years ago, oh my god,
and it makes sense why it's all at night.
Say, when we first pull the bag off Indy's head and we got a close up, his full head in view.
They really commit to just.
It looked bad.
Yeah,
they commit to just shoving it in your face.
I was like, ooh,
it's at its worst.
That's not good.
In motion, so when he moves his head to the side, And
yes,
when
and it's
he's
the close-ups,
talking.
head moves that are bad when he first looks around.
And it doesn't help when we go from a close-up to a real person, then to a close-up of that, and like you can just like it's so jarring. It's
they'll linger on it for a moment, and you'll be fine with it. Like because after like 10 seconds, you'll be like, okay, yes, I'm accepting this, and then they'll cut to a real human being.
I don't think
instantly
Disney,
you're just like thrown.
I think the best de-aging Disney have ever done is still Tarkin.
I really thought that worked. I thought that they just committed, and I really enjoyed that. I thought that was good.
Yeah.
Tarkin and Leia in
Tarkin was good. Leia a bit more meh than Tarkin, to be honest.
Yeah.
Even young Kurt Russell in Guardians 2 worked.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
But yeah, like beyond that first little scene, where it was a big focus on his face, I was having so much fun. I regressed to childhood in this movie, basically. I was just a little kid smiling. I was just so happy to be seeing Indy running around, killing and punching Nazis.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't notice it after that initial, like, first 20, 30 seconds.
And
I'd say the sequence itself really, like, brings the entire thing back up so that you can kind of forget and ignore.
And it was totally...
He doesn't sit still for the next, like, 20 minutes, like, of that sequence.
To me, after the part where he gets hung by the rope, it's fine. The carriage train hopping sequence is amazing because it really captures what indie humor was, whereas it's him walking into a train carriage full of Nazis, and you expect them to tackle him straight away, but instead, because he's wearing a Nazi sort of uniform, they all salute him.
They salute,
and he's got to blend in, which is indie humor. Like,
that was the thing. Him falling into the perfect disguise as an officer on the train, where the soldiers he was going to need to get past are worried about if they're in trouble or not, because like the officer's on deck.
Only figuring out that he is an imposter when they notice he's got a bullet hole in the back of him.
Which they did a good job of highlighting as well. Which
that was cool.
I thought that was good,
and I love that because one of the first times I DM'd D&D, that was like a thing that we did. Like the stormtrooper uniform had a bullet hole in the back, and that's how my party got found out. Oh, I love that.
So and that happens about twice in the same sequence where he walks into multiple.
Yes.
He walks into the one where he sniffs their drink and looks at them and pours it out.
Yes, yeah, with the artifact that they.
And then he's in the entire carriage,
and then he's in. They're all having dinner, and he blends in with them. And then he walks into a carriage where they're all sleeping in bunks.
That's right.
So, too many Nazis.
Too many Nazis.
Yep.
That's correct. We also get this incredible artillery sequence, which is such a great action set piece. The artillery gun firing upon its own train, which is awesome. And Mads Mikkelsen definitely should be dead.
His head should be off.
Let's go over that. A few people should definitely be dead.
Yeah.
And a few people definitely did die, which good time to mention. There is a good use of violence in this movie, I would say, because they don't hold back. There's a lot of deaths.
Innocent people, like when they just
they hold on it when it's an innocent person.
Yeah, when they murder the two people,
whole train full of Nazis getting shot up. That's quick. It's almost played for comedic effect.
Yeah. But then how bonkers their dying is.
It has to be mentioned so that the Nazis have the train cart's locked, so they of course start crawling all over the outside of the cart. And this coincides with the gun shooting at its own train, which is like turning behind it. So it's like picking off the Nazis hanging from the train. It is a cartoon.
Oh yeah, it's nuts.
And then they bring it down, and we have some innocent deaths, and like it's played really seriously, and it's like a sobering moment. Yeah.
Yeah,
I just wanted to give everyone a sobering moment for a second there.
Exactly.
And the whole time in this sequence, Brayden and I were just...
Oh yeah, just like shaking around all the entire thing.
But the best use of D-Block is in this sequence, when we are just on the train, where the chairs mimic what it feel like what it would feel like just to be sitting or standing on the train, where like
they did this really well, a bunch of it.
there's
Both on the train and on the boat.
The swaying of the sea on the boat was
on the
really
boat,
subtle and good.
If you really just start to actually pay attention, you would notice that you were just slightly rocking side to side, which is a nice little touch.
See, that sounds cool. I could try that.
Yeah. Chris wants a rom-com in the D-Box seats.
Well, see, Barbie and D-Box?
I'll see Barbie and D-Box. But, it was... I can't remember what I was going to say. I'm just stunted by all the indie moments that I would like to mention.
I feel like, getting into the rest of it is like, you get into, okay, now we're in modern day. Oh, not modern day. Jesus. It's 69.
It's the 60s,
nice.
yeah.
Space Race.
Space Race.
We won.
And all that
Vietnam.
stuff.
American won.
Are
we spoiling?
America didn't win. America did not win the space race, Alex. America famously lost the space race.
They won, mate.
They won the moon.
Nah, mate. Space.
Won the moon.
The moon race. I don't know this
shout
shit,
out
man.
To Yuri Gagarin, first man in space, citizen of the Soviet Union.
I will say this film has some incredibly lengthy chase sequences.
One of them we can cut out completely because
parade sucks.
Yeah, to me it's CGI Harrison Ford on the horse, which kept taking me out of it completely.
Yeah,
the set didn't feel real to me.
CGI. Oh no, because there was definitely some shots in there of that parade. There's one which it scarred me basically. When they're running across on the rooftops. There's a moment where I think it's when she, the goddaughter, Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Helena, that's it. When she looks down from the top, and there's a shot, and like, the perspective is all fucked. Like, it does not look right at all.
The parade looks like it's out of Kingdom.
Yeah, it's
this didn't feel right. Yeah, and then when he was riding the horse through it, it just didn't feel like a real location to me.
Him
at all.
Through the subway too was, this movie's 2.5 hours, and we could have just cut that.
Yeah.
The coolest part of that parade was when second in charge American Nazi man shoots a gun in the air and everyone drops by Indy.
Yeah, I loved that shot. That moment was great.
We did get a good introduction to him.
To have that moment and then still just cut the rest of it.
He was one of my favorite parts of the movie, though. Boyd Holbrook. He was also the villain in Logan, another James Mangold film.
He was great. He's really good.
He would have done fine as a Nazi.
If we're spoiling this because no one's watching it clearly at the cinemas, and it's been out for a week now almost.
Yeah, go watch it.
Go watch it because it is a lot of fun, and this movie was really hurt by premiering it at Cannes, which no idea why the hell they did this. I really thought they had a winner, like a 10 out of 10 here if they were to premiere it 2 months earlier at Cannes, only for it to get absolutely ripped apart, and now everyone's interest in it is gone unless they really, really want to go see it.
Weird.
So general public just don't care about it now.
Oh no! Like I ask, like if I mention it to anyone or anything, everyone's just like, "Why'd they make another one?"
And that's
my answer is, I don't know. Money.
I think the thing
apparently not.
That was a good answer for the fourth. Like that was the question for the fourth one, and it was Spielberg coming back then, and it was like, why is he making another one?
Yeah.
But what's this?
I really felt like this one they didn't.
A fresh man.
I just really thought they didn't want the franchise to end on the
that's fair.
alien crystal skull.
They wanted it to have its happy ending.
They wanted so spoilers for this one. Second franchise to kill off Shia LaBeouf off screen in between films.
Brilliant. Good move.
But this one handles it a lot better than Transformers, whereas it actually adds to Indy's character and they give him some meat and some sauce in this one.
Yeah, I guess
Ford Shia isn't off in this film.
Yeah, Shia isn't there, but there's a vacuum left behind.
He's got a one-on-one scene on the boat where he was asked if you go back in time, what moment would he go to? And he's like, "I'll tell my son to not enlist into the army because he would get killed in action, and then it would cause his mum and dad to drift apart and become empty shells of humans.
Big moment.
Big moment.
And Harrison Ford crushes it.
There's 3 moments he crushes it in this film.
Those moments where you go, man, Harrison Ford still got this.
He does, and
maybe just.
Oh yeah.
I think he's just found the love of acting again because he's doing this. He's done Shrinking, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
And he's got he's going to be Captain America: New World Order.
Yes, he is. He's
sorry, Captain America: Brave New World. They've changed the title to.
It probably
that's right. Yeah,
makes sense that the horse bit was the forced moment.
Yeah,
that was very much. Let's put Indy on a horse, and that will make up for him being old because the mobility.
I don't care that he's old. You've got
let's have him do a little horse chase.
You've got Helena there to do all the young buck stuff now.
Exactly, and which didn't feel forced to me in the later scenes when they're having the little race on the what are these little things called?
On the
what are they called?
Tuk-tuks.
Tuk-tuks on the little tuk-tuks. It didn't feel forced. That
was a great sequence, by the way.
She was doing the leaping across, and he was doing the driving. Like I wasn't like, oh, it's because he's too old.
Do you know
that one moment where he dives between one before it gets crushed?
Oh, that was great though. Really cool.
That moment is really, really bonkers.
No, but the 3 scenes where I think from an acting standpoint and a performance, he kills it in. Is this scene, the scene where he's talking about what happened to Shia or Mutt, or Henry Jones III. The scene where she's really excited about escaping from the boat, and he's like, "My friend just died." That was really great.
Oh man,
lots
that
of
was
sobering
brutal
moments.
Yeah, and the last one being like, "No, Indy, you're needed here." And he just goes, "For who?" Just before, the way he says "for who" is heartbreaking. Then Marion opens the door, which is fantastic. Which leads to probably the best joke in the film that nobody but Brayden and I saw.
Yep, the 2 of us just giggling.
When I saw it again,
moment.
The person I saw it with again didn't notice it either. When he opens,
it's too subtle.
She opens the fridge door and he slowly just grabs the magnet down off her face that he put there earlier.
Yeah. Such a great little moment.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I enjoyed the tuk-tuk chase scene a lot. The opening chase montage.
Notably, that was a 3-way fight. Also, the tuk-tuk chase. Jesus, every single electronic device in my room just went off. Somehow.
It was like you watched The Office. Woof.
That was just making me think of Wolf. I was about to make the same reference, which was awesome. Someone sent me a woof, but sorry about that. Yeah, the tuk-tuk chase was a 3-way chase, which is
there was a lot going on there.
Awesome, always awesome.
A lot of fun.
Tomb raiding, classic tomb raiding moments.
The tomb raiding was awesome at the end. What a way to end. Do a prelude to the 3rd act.
And really reminded me of literally Last Crusade, tomb raiding in Venice, right on the money. My second favorite of Indy's lines from the movie is, he was obsessed with water displacement. And he just starts throwing bits of rock into the water.
Just the most ridiculous things ever.
The most ridiculous line you've ever.
Funny.
And that's what I come for. I come here for this 2,000-year-old water displacement key lock, which still works.
Still there. All that water's there. Don't worry.
I think I was telling Chris after watching it where I was like, this really reminded me of an Uncharted movie, but if Sully was the main character.
Yeah, I can see that very much. I will say though, Phoebe Waller-Bridge did a very good job.
She's very charismatic, and people keep ripping into her character, saying that she was overly cocky and confident, and it really took them out of the movie.
She was in it for the money. That was her whole thing, and she realized.
I don't see that at all. I thought one of my favorite moments was when she is they're on Antonio Banderas' boat, and she's got the thing, and she's trying to she's deciphering the code for them while also teaching them all. And then she's revealing to Indy that she's got the dynamite, and then he's lighting it. I thought that was a really fun moment.
Great moment.
And I thought there was really something to her character and to be redeemed as well. How obviously she's had this upbringing with Indy not being around as her godfather, and her real father having the problems with this Pandora's box he's trying to unlock.
Falling on dark times.
And, she finds herself just wanting to accumulate wealth, and she's in it for the money.
Money.
And then
money,
we had
money,
another
money.
sobering moment where Indy makes her realize even she's lying to herself because she loves the kid.
Her short round.
And
her short round. Moroccan short round. We love him.
They did a good job with having her character. Obviously, they have the initial wool over your eyes at the start of like, oh, she's this innocent, very sweet, just wants to do all this archaeology stuff. And then the reveal that she's actually just a thief and is trying to sell things on the black market. And that's really where she breaks apart in just being, oh, she's the new female Indiana Jones. Instead, she's like, no, she's not this belongs in a museum. She's like, this money belongs in my bank account. And she is, I'm
out for myself.
She's
in this,
cocky. She doesn't care. She doesn't give a fuck. Like, she's in it for herself, and that's it. But you guys... I thought she was unlikable at the start, but she's meant to be.
Now,
and I thought she crushes it.
Let's talk about this ending.
Yeah, here we go. Bad time to cut to black, I think, is a lot of people's thoughts.
What? You mean where she punches it?
How we're there and there's a lot going on, and then we just cut and we're out of it.
I liked it.
Like that.
Oh, you didn't like that?
Okay. No, we were in ancient Rome.
I know, but we couldn't stay,
went
Chris.
Back to the 60s in a flash.
Chris, we couldn't stay. He needed to. He needed that punch.
Exactly. See, I'm Indy there. I'm like, I've waited my whole life for this. I want this. I want to see if Indy has to die in ancient Rome for me to see another minute of ancient Rome. I'm fine with that. Like I'm for it.
Well, and as watching it again, I kept an eye out. They definitely have trebuchets, and they definitely have anti-tank artillery.
Yeah,
on the beaches.
The tank traps. They're amazing. They don't make any sense.
God damn.
Yeah, they've got these just big wooden spikes on the beaches.
Yeah, what was with
Unless it's to stop a boat if the tide was up.
No,
then it's like, what is it for?
It didn't really make any sense that.
Yeah. Brayden's
but yeah, I think the filmmakers like, we need to show a siege. What do beach defenses look like? Oh, we'll just make them like this color. We'll just make them wooden, and that makes them Roman. But they're depicting a modern, anti-tank device.
You're frozen now.
Yeah, cheers for that. Can you click off my...
I'm trying to.
Speaking of time travels and portals, I may need to go through a portal.
Oh.
Right now.
Oh. That makes it sound like you need to run to the bathroom.
It does, and let's just call it that.
Okay, fair enough.
So, in saying that, it's mathematics.
Fine with
mathematics.
Mathematics.
We'll fast forward to next week, where I will reappear out of the time portal.
Thanks, Chris.
Smooth.
Portal.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Chris.
Bless.
All right. Well.
All right, we are here. I mean, Mads Mikkelsen makes a great Nazi bad guy.
He does.
Mads Mikkelsen, if you need a bad guy for something, you're gonna get Mads Mikkelsen.
Why are you off kilter here? Oh my god.
I don't know, mate.
What's going on?
But I'm trying to think of anything else in that film that I want to mention. Oh, not really. It's just a bit of fun.
Just a bit of fun. I agree.
It's a bit of fun.
I agree.
It's pretty good.
Well,
pretty good.
Now it's just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
I'm sorry that you've got a green box around you now.
It's fine.
I know what it is. It's because when... I'm not going to talk about it on the show. Well, you watched Mission Impossible... Oh, well, you got something you want to talk about first.
Well, yeah, I've got a couple things I want to talk about, actually, which is pretty wild for me to be bringing stuff to the show.
I'm going to try and fix this thing.
Two of them you'll be interested in. One of them I'm going to talk about right now. There's a new movie. It's out on Netflix. It's called Nimona. It's based on this graphic novel, which I'm holding up right now, Nimona, by N.D. Stevenson. It is fantasy, but it's also sci-fi. It's very funny. It's very, very good. I highly recommend it. Everyone should check out both the graphic novel and the film on Netflix, because this film has somehow come to survive basically being dropped into the abyss. It's made by Blue Sky, I want to say, which I believe got shuttered by Disney. And so this film just sort of got put on the shelf and shoved back in the closet, which for everyone who worked on it, it's fucking horrible. That
Yeah,
sucks.
That sucks.
So it had been in the shelf and in the closet for a while, and then Netflix came out of nowhere and was just like, "Hey, we're gonna rescue this movie and we're gonna release it." So
That's very nice.
it's
Good idea.
animated by Blue Sky Productions. They do a really fun job with an art style which is very much its own thing. I can't think of anything that like looks similar to it. It's got this like interesting, like no edges, but like I don't know how to describe it. The cast is good too. Chloe Grace Moretz plays Nimona. You get Riz Ahmed as Ballister.
I looked because I saw you rate this, and I looked at one of the cast. Isn't Eugene in this?
Yep, Eugene from the Try Guys plays Golden Loin. And if you're wondering why this film might have been, he's fixed it, folks. Look at that. If you're wondering why this might have got shuttered at Disney, it's because this film is gay as hell. It's super duper queer. We absolutely love it. The relationship between Ballister and Golden Loin is fantastic. All of the connections you can make to gender identity and shapeshifting is really good. This film has some really fun action sequences. The animation's great. The cast is fantastic. I'd say the film has one weak link, which is unfortunately just some like poor writing and characterization of a character played by Beck Bennett from SNL. He's just like, he plays this side character. He's just like a douchebag, douche bro. Like, oh, bro, dude, okay, yeah, man, like, screw you. And he's just like played off. Like, it's a kids movie in that respect, but like,
it's got good ratings so far.
Yeah, it's because it's a good movie. It's good fun.
93 fresh Rotten Tomatoes with a
hell yeah
94 audience score, which is very.
I'm happy to hear that. They expand upon the graphic novel as well. It's not like they've left stuff out. They've actually been able to fill out the world a bit more, make some more changes and stuff. Because this is fantasy, but it's fantasy in a modern setting.
75 Metascore, which is the important one, which is good. Up in the green.
What was that one?
Metascore. It's the Rotten Tomatoes takes, if it's an average of good, if there's like an average of did people like it or people didn't like it, Metascore actually takes the scores they give it and gives it an average score. So 75 is very good.
Yeah. Cool. But yeah, it's so it's all like modern day technology and stuff, but with like knights and the kingdom and stuff like that. It's very fun, and they play that off for a lot of laughs and everything, and it's a good time. I highly recommend people go check it out. It's just on Netflix. It's like less than 2 hours.
How's the animation style?
Animation style's really good. I really like it. It's different. I think moments of it are really strong, and then other moments are kind of eh.
Yeah.
It has a little bit of like DreamWorks energy, or like I feel like this has DreamWorks energy. I think that's safe to say. It was made
by Blue Sky.
Yeah. What did they do?
I think they're the Ice Age people.
Yes. That feels very much. It feels like a refinement of that style.
Rio, Robots, Blue Sky, Spies and Disguise.
Okay, yeah. So it's kind of like Spies in Disguise would be their other most recent thing that they did.
Yeah.
It's kind of got that Spies in Disguise style, but with more of a cartoony overall like styling in terms of like how they're animating people and stuff. Yeah. Also, because Nimona's a shapeshifter, they play around a lot with her like facial expressions and stuff. So like
maybe they didn't.
They just contort and twist her in great ways. It's really fun.
Maybe they didn't do it. Sorry, hang on. Maybe the IMDb trivia's got me caught out here.
But
it was originally a Blue Skies production.
Yes.
Cancelled by Disney shutdown of the studio in early 2021.
That's it.
It wasn't. So okay, cool. So Netflix bought it after that.
Yeah.
And then DNEG animation completed all the visuals.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. There you go.
But yeah, it's a good time. I recommend people go check it out. I also recommend people go check out. This one's gonna come at you out of nowhere. I watched a video essay by Super Eye Patch Wolf, and you can go check this out yourself. Because it is so good. As a lapsed WWE fan. Like, I haven't watched WWE probably since like 2010. Like, that was the last time I was really like aware of anything going on in the WWE. I watched this 1.5-hour video essay called "The Unreality of Pro Wrestling," which is basically just about Roman Reigns'
a Roman Reigns story.
It's basically a Roman Reigns documentary. It's really fucking good because I can never remember his name. I think his name's Mark. The guy who is Super Eye Patch Wolf. He does a really good job of taking you through the entirety of his career and setting up everything you need to set up and explaining everything. Super good. He spent like 6 months battling copyright lawyers from the WWE.
Yeah, because
they try and get this.
They will get you
YouTube.
for anything.
Yeah, so he knew that was going to happen and he was prepared for it. But yeah, it took 6 months for this video to finally get released to the public. And I watched all of it in one sitting and I was like, man, I'm in. Like, I want to try and keep up.
It's not all this though. It's not all.
No.
We still have a bit of shit.
Yeah, it's very much not all there. But I did watch the highlights of the Money in the Bank.
Now, did you watch that on the official WWE channel?
I did.
Okay, well, I watched that highlight again as well, and they cut out all the major moments because clearly they want you to go watch it.
Yeah, I had that feeling. There were moments. There's moments in it where like they were showing off some of the like highlight moments from the women's Money in the Bank match.
Incredible match.
Oh my god, some of the moves in that highlights like that
Selena
I saw.
Vega doing incredible.
Insane what these people are doing. They are incredible.
Those ladders wouldn't break though.
Suddenly it just smash cuts to no one you had seen in the highlights video for like 2 whole minutes is suddenly holding the Money in the Bank case.
Io Sky won women's Money in the Bank, which was the favorite. Everyone wanted her to win. And she won she's in a faction called Damage Control with Bailey. If you remember Bailey back in the day.
Yeah,
Bailey,
there were in the highlights there was a lot of like faction and group names.
There are
like,
Judgment Day is another big one.
I don't know what any of that means.
So Bailey's in Damage Control, and it's 3 members of Damage Control. Currently, Dakota Kai's out with an ACL injury, so that's really destroyed about their lineup. But Bailey's the head of it, and then Io Sky is everyone's new favorite wrestler that they really want to push solo now.
Right.
But sorry.
Yeah, she's got a whole like ego anime vibe to her.
Yeah. So basically, there's Trish and Zoe Stark who were also in the match, and they're going against.
When I heard the Trish Stratus music, I was like, "You're fucking kidding me!"
She's been back for a bit now.
In this. My god, because that was my era of WWE that I was so thrown. Also, fucking Eddie Guerrero's music starts playing because of Latino World Order.
Yes,
and LWO.
So
Eddie Guerrero's music starts playing, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
LWO is Rey Mysterio's current faction.
Yes.
Anyway,
yes, going off on that.
So what they didn't show was that so these 2 other women, Trish Stratus being one of them, are currently feuding with Becky Lynch, and throughout the match they're teaming up with Becky Lynch, and then one of them goes out and brings a set of handcuffs, and handcuffs Becky Lynch. And so Becky Lynch with the one handcuff on her hand, Bailey's on top, about to get it. Becky Lynch jumps up on the other side of the ladder, fish hooks Bailey with the open handcuff of the other one, and they're falling down.
This is very funny.
The ladder, and then Bailey and Becky are both reaching out to each other, and Io looks at the handcuff and handcuffs Bailey and Becky together so they can't climb the ladder. And then she climbs over Bailey and grabs the case.
I assumed something like that had happened because the highlights video,
you can see them still at the bottom,
just suddenly cuts to her on top with the case, and then it cuts to a wide, and they're handcuffed through the ladder.
Yeah.
I had no idea what was going on, but it looked fun.
And then the men's Money in the Bank, Damian Priest won, which people weren't thrilled about. I like it, and I think it is the most interesting option. Everyone, of course, wanted LA Knight to win because he's the most over person in WWE at the moment. My God, the chance that they do for that man. Anyway, everyone loves him. But Damien won.
I got the sense that the second he came out, people were going crazy.
Yeah, his whole thing is he says "yeah" a lot. He goes "yeah." He's basically
he's fun. From what I saw, he's fun.
It's if The Rock and Stone Cold had a kid, it's LA Knight. He's incredible on the mic and he's got the deep voice of Stone Cold.
Damn.
So, yes, but he's probably gonna go in a rivalry with Logan Paul. Logan Paul once again proved that he's a great wrestler.
The crowd booed.
They hate him
so loud. My God.
Oh, it's also a British crowd, which was incredible. They also show up. But I mean, we could talk about everything all night. But let's talk. Linking back into the video, we've got the Bloodline Civil War match, is what they titled it as. Now,
when I saw that it was titled Civil War, I was like, oh my God, this is hilarious.
So, what Super Eye Patch Wolf didn't get into in his video was the fact that he's really stopped at the Royal Rumble with Sami Zayn turning on Roman. And since then we had Elimination Chamber where it was Sami v Roman, which is an incredible match that people should watch. That's such an emotional match and it was excellent. And then after that we also had at WrestleMania we had the most anticipated match ever, which was Cody v Roman, where everyone was like, Roman's done, Roman's finally losing, and much to everyone's disappointment, Roman gets pinned. Cody gets pinned and Roman retains.
I remember you guys talking about that on the show, and that was in these moments where I was like, oh, do I start getting Vincent from WWE again?
Yeah. So there was that when Roman retained. But that was also the night where the Usos lost their tag titles to Sami and Kevin Owens. Sami Zayn, of course, El Generico.
Yep. Oh my gosh.
Incredible.
So
those
cool.
two guys have a great story coming up from
with Kevin Owens and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Kevin Steen. So them coming up through there, they're really fun to watch. And then obviously we had Backlash. None of them really wrestled at Backlash. Then we had Night of Champions in Saudi, which was a pay-per-view before this, earlier this year, where we had Kevin and Sami versus Roman and Solo in a tag team match where Solo got pinned and Roman and Solo lost, but Roman hadn't been pinned. Whereas tonight we had, the whole storyline at the moment is the undoing of the bloodline. Jay and Jimmy turning on Roman and saying, we've had enough of you and your disrespect. You don't treat us like family. And then we had the Usos. Man, this crowd was incredible because I'm not sure if they played the chants in the highlight.
There was another highlight clip that had the best chants from the night.
So best one being if you hate Roman, stand up, which was incredible.
So good.
And then it cuts to Roman talking to Paul Heyman, being like, what are we doing here? And he's just like, these people suck.
Yeah, he was. There were moments where Roman was just like snapping.
Yeah,
like
but
it was.
But compared to what it used to be, where it was people just hated him because he was totally non-organic. He was being pushed by the heads up that really had an agenda. Whereas now, what they've done with his character is that you boo him, but that's what they want to happen, and that's what feeds into it.
And that's what that video essay gets into really well, is how they twisted that to become what they want. Wild.
And it's
Absolutely
the moment,
crazy.
And I love that they really incorporate a lot of Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose into and any chance that anyone can show Seth Rollins running down with the Money in the Bank to cash in on Brock and Roman is the heist of the century. It's the best Money in the Bank cash in ever because it'd been almost a year and everyone forgot that Seth had the Money in the Bank.
Yeah, that's wild.
Heist of the brilliant. And then he had a match with Randy early in the night, which I won't get too much into, but it ended with Seth's finishing move is a stomp where he runs up and stomps on your head. And Randy, when he went to go stop on Randy pushes him up and hits him with an RKO out of the air. It's the best reversal / RKO in my personal opinion. It's incredible.
Would you say it was out of nowhere?
It was completely. It was the most out of nowhere RKO there is, and that's saying something.
That is saying something. He's famous for those.
So yeah, I was really happy that they incorporated Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins into that. I really wish that Roman could call upon them to fight. Like if he gets together the Shield again, won't happen because Dean Ambrose is over at AEW now as John Moxley, so that will never happen. Big falling out with WWE, sad. But yeah, Seth's currently the heavyweight champion, so he's fine. So yeah, I mean they could have just kept going, and I was thought he'd end up until WrestleMania, but yeah, but they could have gone up to here even, and he could do a part 2 or whatever. And keep going because this is probably the best pay-per-view we've had all year in the new wrestling calendar. So from WrestleMania onwards, it's probably the best one, and the crowd helped. And then they had a little segment where John Cena came out, which was out of nowhere, like the RKO, and pitched WrestleMania in London. But
yeah, they kept all that in the highlights, which
they did, because then they also kept Grayson Waller coming out. And
who is this guy?
So this is great.
Australian bloke.
So Grayson Waller is one of the new up and coming recruits from NXT. NXT being kind of the developmental portion of WWE. It's where if you're great in NXT, you're probably going to get called up to the main roster. But Grayson Waller over the past year, the last draft was called up to the main roster. Up until now, he's actually had a broken foot. He kind of broke his foot in one of his last NXT matches before being called up. So he hasn't actually wrestled since being on the main roster. He's just has his own kind of Miz TV type show called the Grayson Waller Effect, which is a lot of fun. He's got like palm trees and shit in the ring when he does it. And he's Australian. He's a lot of fun, and he advocated to do WrestleMania Australia, which of course should be called.
Like the British just hated the idea
but it would be fantastic, and
it would be incredible.
Look, it doesn't have to be a WrestleMania here, but if we get a premium live event here, say a Survivor Series,
you'd be there in a heartbeat.
Oh, I'd pay all the money to go there.
And I would pay some money to go there.
Perth are currently bidding for a WrestleMania premium live event at the moment, so that could be really fun at Optus Stadium. I would like to see Survivor Series here. I think that could be a lot of fun.
And it could cross over with Australian Survivor.
Yeah, I know.
And we could have some tribal challenges, vote someone off the island.
Of relevancy. Roman has the island of relevancy. That's what Paul Heyman, who was incredible.
Oh my God, Paul Heyman, anytime they would just cut to him holding
face.
as many belts as he could possibly hold.
It's so funny that Roman, that yellow ugly mustard belt was meant to be the combination of the 2 other belts. And we all thought, okay, so Roman's going to come out with 1 belt now. And then the last couple of weeks, he's been coming out with all 3. And I want a joke now where they go, all right, Roman, here's a new belt that culminates all the belts now. And he goes, thank you. And he walks off with all of them. And he keeps,
holding all of them.
They keep giving him a belt to replace all the other belts, and he just keeps taking that one.
So good.
But yeah, it's
I want Paul Heyman to have to come out with like a sack truck or like a wheelbarrow just full of belts.
Yeah. Roman though, he's truly the best. When he comes out, you look at him and you go, this guy's unbeatable. He's a champ. Obviously not now. But he truly has the feel and aesthetic of a champion, which is something that
he from where he was like early on in the WWE, like it's polar opposite town now. Like he oozes this vibe of like, oh my God, how am I gonna beat this guy?
It's funny, that promo that he comes out with, and he announces to everyone like, no, my name's Joe, and I've been living with leukemia. He comes out and everyone's booing the shit out of him, but as soon as he drops the act and tells them what's going on, that immediately stops. And it shows you that the WWE community, we're aware and we do what we do. We boo who we're meant to boo, and like we rip into, but as soon as something becomes real like that, it's all dropped. It's serious.
That was a honestly heartbreakingly beautiful moment.
Yeah.
Because it is that thing where we know it's not real fighting.
Yeah.
We're not here to see people
it's not about
kill
the
each other.
fighting.
It's not about the fighting. It's the stories and the characters. And
It's
yeah, seeing that clip, like I recommend people just check out that clip
Mm.
anyway, because it's incredible, because you watch this crowd just 180
yeah.
in a heartbeat,
And
and
then he walks up the
everyone is
ramp and
there to
Seth and
support him
Dean are
all of a
there, and
sudden.
it's so
Oh,
sad. You know, the backstage community of all the wrestlers together is beautiful in its own way, because Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins are married in real life and they have kids, and their kids hang out, like their young children hang out backstage. And
yeah.
Kevin Owens and
Oh my
Sammy play
God.
peekaboo with them, and they're
Oh my
really
gosh.
like there's so many like little videos of them all backstage, and it's really just a family.
That's fun.
But yeah, no. So Money in the Bank's fantastic, and everyone should watch that. The unreality of wrestling video by Super Eye
Yep.
Patch Wolf, because it is great.
Yeah. And one final thing, unless you've got anything else that you want to.
Are we talking about Mission Impossible?
Talk about Mission Impossible,
Okay.
baby.
So I also watched the first one again. I watched
we're
it
doing
today.
a double. So I hadn't. Alex messaged the group chat and was like, "Hey, who wants to go see Mission Impossible, the new one?"
Fun fact: I was going by
weekend.
myself, and no one responded. No one to go. I was not. I was seeing this movie at 12:30 on Saturday, regardless of anyone replying.
Anyone being like,
But
"Oh, I can go
Brayden
see
was
you
like,
later."
"I will come," and I was like, "Thank you, Brayden."
Yep, I'm out here I'm out here saying I'll go see this film. I haven't seen any of the other Mission Impossible movies yet, so I'm a person on a mission this week, and I'm watching. And it's not impossible. I think I can do it. Mission Impossible. I think they can make a successful franchise out of this film. This is a good one.
So rewatching the first one, I forgot how much of a tight hour 45, like tight little spy thriller this was. This movie flew along,
and not even to the point where you're like, "Oh wow, that was quick." Like, I was so pleasantly surprised and shocked by the scene where like everyone references it. It's like, "Oh, Mission Impossible, dangling from the ceiling, and it is all flat and everything." Just from like cultural everything, I assumed that scene had the theme music underneath.
Nah.
Oh my God, that entire sequence is so good.
It's great.
And it's so tense, and you're just like, everything
and when
is
he
almost
falls
going
and is
wrong.
like,
oh my God, and the guy's coming in and he's hanging upside down above him, and just, oh my God, that entire sequence, it's probably like 10 minutes, but it feels like it's either 4 hours or 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was so good. And I mean, like, the rest of the film's really fun.
Yeah,
like,
apart from, I'd say the ending falls apart a little bit, and it gets
that's my comment was gonna be.
Yeah,
that ending. Unfortunately, I assume
dated
just from it being
as well.
like dated CGI green screen stuff. Like,
yeah. So yeah, I love that in the first 18 minutes, all the team they introduce you to just get killed.
Yeah, that was great. I was like, and I was really enjoying them. And then all of a sudden, one of them just brutally dies in the elevator shaft. I was just like, what is happening?
Yeah, Emilio Estevez gets murked.
Oh my God, like real hardcore. I did have a feeling that it was going to be good old Voidy.
Oh, John Voight.
Yeah, I had a feeling, but the film did a good job of trying to like.
I love that we realize Ethan figures this out before he returns in London, and you get the scene where like Ethan's explaining to him how he think Kittredge did it all, but we see John Voight doing it all,
actually putting it all together, and that sequence was really good.
I think the ending on the train though, just so much of the movie doesn't feel like big action set piece, which eventually it's what it becomes, but they incorporated it and it really works for the franchise from 3 onwards. Actually 4 onwards. 3's not so much, but you'll see 3's a whole different game compared to the rest.
Yeah, because
in a good way.
There's a significant bit of time difference between them, isn't there?
So
this one was 96.
92, 96. Number 2's in 2000. Number 3's in 2006. Number 4's in 2011.
So then, like significant time gaps between 2 and 3, and then 3 and 4. So and all different directors until we get to 5, where 5, 6, 7, and 8 now will all be the same director. Okay, cool. Cool.
So
wait, is the second one
John
what's
Woo.
his name? John Woo, yeah.
So I'm half an hour into 2, and
I'm about to watch it tonight.
Don't.
I'm kind of excited to finally see.
It looks like shit.
It's also in Australia, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. It's meant to be.
Meant to be.
Yeah, number 2. There's a number 2, and someone commented on this before. Number 2 looks like an Austin Powers parody of Mission. Like, it looks like the opening to Austin Powers 3.
Yep. Oh my god.
I think you get it. There's a shot where 2 cars spin around, and like it goes into slow motion where him and this other girl are looking at each other while the cars are spinning, and then like Lord of the Rings orchestral like elf music plays while it happens. It's really weird.
Oh my god. Okay. I'm excited to watch it just to see what kind of a train wreck it kind of is.
But yeah.
But then I am looking forward to the rest of them from there.
3's so unique, like in the best way out of the rest of them. 3's like really personal and stuff, and it's really good. And then like 4 onwards are just all like melt your face, fantastic,
real fun blockbuster action stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, number 1, really surprisingly like fast paced, like a real nothing's left on the bone in this one.
Oh yeah, they give you everything to the point where they give you like he's got his next mission at the end of it.
Yeah.
Like they give you everything that you could possibly want, and it gives you the fun cheesy spy stuff from the because this was an old TV show, wasn't it?
Apparently, never seen it.
Yeah, I've never seen it or anything.
I think the theme sticks.
The vibe that like some of the stuff was very much like cheesy TV spy action stuff. But yeah, I really was impressed, and I was like. It was the same thing when I like listened to an artist that's been like super popular for years. I'm just like, man, I reckon these people are going places.
Yeah, I reckon I get it.
Yeah, these could be successful. So next week, y'all can look forward to a big old Mission Impossible roundup. Basically,
yeah, I'm gonna try and watch them all too. Before the new one.
I think it'll be fun if you can. Yeah, if we're both going in like having just.
I think Friday night. I think you need to as best as you can. If you got to watch Fallout on the biggest screen that you possibly can have access to, like Fallout's not one to watch on a laptop or computer. You got to watch that on a TV.
That's on a big TV. Yeah. Well, thankfully I don't have a monitor. I have a TV on my desk in front of me, so I will just sit here and just experience it entirely.
It's great.
But yes, you can look forward to Dead Reckoning Part 1 review next week.
So excited! 2 hours and 43 minutes.
Whoa,
the longest one. So
that's a lot more movie than I was expecting.
It's part 1, mate.
Oh,
still got a whole nother part of it to go.
Part 1 as well.
Speaking
of part 1s, I just ordered my copy of the Across the Spider-Verse art book, which I didn't realize had officially come out today. So
how much is that?
I've ordered it. I think it's about $70.
Shit.
But you messaged me afterwards.
And any luck with the Taylor Swift tickets, Brayden?
My sister. This is actually a fun little story. I'll quickly tell it before we leave. My sister failed to get tickets on the first time. On the second time, was trying to get tickets. Was at work. Realized it would have been a 5-minute walk for her to be directly in front of the entertainment center.
Oh,
and
she went and got
to line up. And actually get tickets.
I heard that everyone that went to the Ticketek locations got tickets.
So she went to out the front of the entertainment center. People were lined up. People were getting tickets.
How many people would have been lined up there? Was there a lot of people lined up there?
She said to start off with, I think when she got there was like 40 people, but when she left, there was like over 100.
I imagine people worked out like throughout the day if you went there.
Yeah, I think more people were getting in contact with people.
What about Michaela? Did she manage to snag any?
No, we missed out.
It's destroyed. It's done.
Yeah, we'll be trying to get somewhere.
Yeah,
but
I didn't bother.
Yeah,
I was like,
it's the kind of thing where it's like, yeah, okay. It's like, do I want to go to a concert that's as long as Zack Snyder's Justice League?
Is it long?
It's 3 hours 40 minutes, dude.
What?
It's her entire discography.
Yeah, but she's got hits, man.
I know, and like the entire the set
it's all they're playing on the radio is Taylor Swift now, and I'm just like, it would have been good to see live.
Goddamn.
I put her in the category of like Ed, I guess Harry now, and Taylor, where like, you know, do I like all of their music? Probably not, but they are performers. Like, you know, it's more like I'm more interested because they seem like they just put on a show.
They put on a show. They're very entertaining.
They don't just come out, play their song, say, "Oh, you know, Adelaide, how are we all feeling tonight?" and then fuck off. They don't. It's
like, no, they're either putting on the biggest show in ever. They're being really like impressive technically on stage, or they're being really fun.
And everything I see from Styles is that his crowd work is
crowd work is ridiculous.
Is like,
very, very good.
To me, Taylor's got the production where like she puts on like a production show.
Yeah, Ed, it's like stadium sellout. Everyone.
Ed's just impressive because he's got the loop pedal.
Yeah,
and that's super impressive.
Very impressive work technically.
And then Harry's got the crowd work.
Yeah, and if they combined
the Infinity Stone,
this is the gauntlet would be made. Thank you all so much for joining us for episode 210 of MMT Millennial Movie Talk. This has been a movie TV show podcast that you can follow on your podcast service of choice. If you can, leave a review over there. We'd greatly appreciate it. Head over to YouTube so you can see Alex knock his hand on his microphone stand and the general shenanigans that this episode has contained. You can subscribe and like and comment and all that jazz. You can add Mike on Facebook.
Add him.
And see us on socials. And as always,
I'm Alex.
I'm Brayden.
That was shorter than usual, but we're out of here. Filthy animals.
Bye.